Trickdraw is a card game about magic, flipping cowboys. So yes, it has this like steampunkish, alchemic, can I say, magical fantasy feel that is combined with Old West. I guess it also reminded me of Shadows of Brimstone without the Cthulhian, without the Lovecraftian horror. In case you haven't noticed, I'm showing you some of the art, so you get a sense of what to expect from that point of view. But the theme is not particularly important, honestly. The important thing is that you score 10 points and then you win the game. The game comes with multiple variants. In one is instant death. First player to score 10 points instantly wins the game. In another variant, when you score 10 points, you trigger the end of the game. You score 2 points immediately right away as a buffer, and then everybody takes a last turn, and at that point, at the end of that, you see who the winner is. So, game is extremely simple. You give each player a hand of 2 cards. Actually, before that, something about number of players. It can play, the box says, 2 to 5, but 2 is the 2-player variant. Really, I do not recommend it. Well, I haven't played it. Games with a 2-player variant, I played them with 3 players or more. And I played this one with 3, 4, and 5. Actually, the box comes with 2 full decks. There's another full deck here, which you can use if you have more than 5 players to have 2 separate parallel games, or 1 giant mega game with 10 people, which I really do not recommend because I think that the downtime would be atrocious. So, to set up the game, shuffle the deck, give each player 2 cards, done. Oh, you may want to look at your cards, that's important. Cards have texts, and texts have effects, and that's interesting. That take place, well, depending on the phrasing. Sometimes it take place the next time you do something. Sometimes they have a permanent effect. Sometimes they apply once per turn. Sometimes they have a cost discarding something, etc., etc. Sometimes it's a one-time effect, but super important, the effect that takes place when the card is played face up. You can always play your cards face down, and the effect doesn't happen. Rules, super simple. When it is your turn, you draw a card, and then you play a card, and you play it in a line in front of you, and you can play your card face up or face down. If I play it face up, the effect applies. For example, here I'm planning for the future, because now my cards have 1 less discard cost, and so that could be good for cards that have that kind of effect. And everybody goes around, it's my turn again, I take another card, and I decide, for example, to play this card face down. As you can see from the back, each card that you play face down is worth 1 point. And the game continues, and that's how it goes until hand player... Oh, I swap my hands with another player who maybe had like a bigger hand for cause reasons. Because of game effects. And it continues like this. There will be cards that allow you to flip at the cards and things like that. For example, the rally. The rally I play face down, as people will start to do once they realize what it does. It's worth 1 point for each other rally you have in play. So if you have 3 of them in play and a point from anywhere, you win the game. And so the first time that you play, people will play the rallies face up profligately until they realize but people are going to steal them, target them, flip them face down. So people instead will start playing the rallies face down and then use card effects to flip their rallies face up. So booyah, you spring that surprise. There are also combinations of cards that if you can pull them off, such as the key or the treasure in play, you win the game. And again, if you play them face up, chances are that somebody is going to get a little bit anxious about it. And so face down, and then booyah is probably a better idea. This is the game. I'm not going to get into any more detail about that. As I talk, you can just pause and get a sense of the effects, because again, this is it. This is the gameplay. My feeling is that this is a magnified, expanded, advanced version of Love Letter that no one necessarily asked for, and I personally am not sure that I need it. What do I mean by that? Like Love Letter, I realized early on that there was no point when I was teaching the game to go through all of the effects. The easiest way was, let's play, be cool about the first game is the learning game, and the easiest way to learn was to play and see how the effects interact. First you learn what they do, then how they interact, then like, oh, how you should actually use them, such as probably play your rally cards face down, that sort of thing. You learn it through play. But it took a lot longer for players in my group to grok it, to really become comfortable about it and see the strategies, like you have in Love Letter. But that in Love Letter happens like after 5 minutes. And once we got to that point, we learned those, then the strategies started feeling actually pretty stiff, pretty rigid. It felt like it took longer to go to a space of decision that I could not see as superior to that of Love Letter. Ultimately, I know there's certain interactions that are going to do certain things. But here, there are just some cards that are so powerful, again, such as the Rally, and that's everybody's favorite strategy, that everybody will go for that one. It just felt like Love Rally, really? Love Letter with more steps and a payoff that was maybe similar, but it also means slightly inferior because, well, if the payoff is the same and it takes me more work, more time for people to play, more confusion, I would say, it just takes longer. It just takes longer for somebody to spring a surprise on you. And so, again, every minute of this that I played, I was thinking of similar taste to Love Letter, and I thought of how much I prefer Love Letter. Because in Love Letter, if somebody wins instantaneously, it's after 2-3 minutes, and they won that round. Here, if you're playing with 4 or 5 people, it takes a while, maybe 15-20 minutes before somebody wins anticlimactically and suddenly, and that feels pretty disappointing to me. So, if Love Letter didn't exist, I would think that this may just be an excellent, amazing card game. But Love Letter exists, and so I just don't see any reason for me to recommend Trickdraw over Love Letter, unless you really like the theme and you really like the art, and that could be a draw, a draw for you.